Do you know how e-cigarette users in Estonia and their home country differ? I'm Ingmar Kurg, a member of the board of NNA Smoke-Free Estonia. And let me introduce you the Estonian e-cigarette users. Who are Estonian e-cigarette users? The share of men and women using e-cigarettes is moving towards balance. Whereas 7 years ago, only 15% of e-cigarette users were women. Now the share of women has risen to 38%. Looking at the share of e-cigarette users by age groups, you can see that the share of older people among Estonian e-cigarette users has increased. The share of youngest, 18 to 21 years old, has also increased. Why the share of young people has increased and why they do not remain users of e-cigarettes for a long time can be answered in few slides. Moving on to the smoking experience of e-cigarette users, we can see that most e-cigarette users are former smokers. 26% still smoke, some often and some occasionally. In addition, there are 9% of e-cigarette users who have never smoked regular cigarettes. When asked if they noticed any change in their health when they started using an e-cigarette, 44% didn't notice any changes. 3% complained that their health was getting worse. They noticed throat irritation, cough, and poor oral hygiene. 53% of e-cigarette users said their health had improved. In terms of improved health, users reported, for example, less cough and sputum, more strength and stamina, breathing becoming easier, and an improved sense of smell and taste. The majority of all the participants of the survey, e-cigarette users and non-users, found that using an e-cigarette is less harmful than smoking a regular cigarette. Looking at the e-liquids, Estonian e-cigarette users prefer low nicotine level e-liquids. The average Estonian e-cigarette user consumes 6 milliliters of e-liquid per day. And now for the more difficult part. There are a lot of e-cigarette users who mix the e-liquid from different components or add a suitable flavor for the nicotine liquid. Users mix their e-liquids themselves because the sale of flavored e-liquids is prohibited in Estonia. As the flavors in the e-liquid are important, confirmed also by the survey, many e-cigarette users mix their e-liquids themselves. All of this has led to an extensive grey and black market of e-cigarettes and e-liquids in Estonia. The grey and black market account for an estimated up to an 85% of the total Estonian e-cigarette market. In recent years, this has led to a new sad trend, with minors being the buyers and the sellers of the black market. The sale of the e-cigarettes and e-liquids takes place in schools, hobby schools, and wherever young people meet. This explains why the share of e-cigarette users aged 18 to 21 has increased. The need to reduce the black and grey market has been discussed several times in the Estonian parliament, but few decisions have been made. Currently, there is a temporary break in the collection of excise duty on e-liquids. has not had much effect because no reasonable compromise was reached on the issue of flavors. With the recovery of excise duty, the legal market is expected to decline in the next year. Finally, let's not forget that e-cigarettes are still an effective smoking cessation tool for most smokers. Some take longer to quit smoking, others less. On average, former e-cigarette users in Estonia has used an e-cigarette for 3 years. This was a brief overview of Estonian e-cigarette users. If you are interested, the full version of the survey can be found on the NNA Smoke Free Estonia website. Thank you.